Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Today we're going to be predicting the Broncos starting defense for this upcoming 2022 season. And I'm pretty excited. I think this defense is stacked, and under Vic Fangio, I think that this defense is poised to have an amazing season. As long as the offense, which I predicted in a previous video, go check it out. Um, if they can stay healthy, then I do believe that we'll be a playoff team. And before we get started, I just want to say that Jesus is King, and I ask that you give your life to Him. You'll feel so much more happy, fulfilled, and have a purpose. I truly believe that God put this video out there for you to see this message, and I hope you take this advice because it is some of the best things that I have ever done. And yeah, let's jump into this thing. So obviously Vic Fangio runs a 3-4 base defense, and so starting at nose tackle, I have Mike Purcell being the starter nose tackle. I think he's a very great piece. I think he's from Highlands Ranch too. But yeah, I think Mike Purcell is the perfect defensive tackle. I think that obviously there's room to improve at that position. I think he's solid, but I do think I think he needs to have a little bit better of a season. I do think we can improve there. But backing him up, I have Shamar Stephen as the free agent signing, and um, I do believe that Shamar is he's a decent player. We signed him from the Vikings, obviously, with George Payton's pedigree coming from Minnesota. I think that, it's a solid pick. It's a solid pick. But, I think that the defensive tackle is one of the weaker spots on this defense. Next, moving on to the left end, I have Dre'Mont Jones starting. I kind of spoiled it there, my bad. But yeah, I have Dre'Mont Jones as the starting left end. I think he's gonna have a breakout season this year, and I can't wait to see Dre'Mont Jones because I think he's gonna have a great season. Drafted in 2019, third round out of Iowa. Um, he won Defensive Player of the Year or Defensive Player of the Week back in his rookie season. Not defensive rookie, defensive player, which I thought was very impressive. And yeah. Then backing him up, I have the third round pick from 2020, McTelvin Agim. Didn't get a whole lot of playing time last year, but he got some, and he wasn't terrible. It wasn't great. It's kind of hard to evaluate the little snaps that he played, but I do think that he is a very solid end, and I think that he'll be a good backup and he potentially be a starter here in a couple years. But we'll have to see. I really like Dre'Mont Jones. Next is the right end, and we have Shelby Harris starting there. Just one of the best in the business. Can get his hands up, can block the pass, can bat down balls, can block kicks. He's so good at just batting down the ball, and oh my goodness, Shelby Harris is one of the best at it, and he can get some pressure, like I said, pressure the quarterback. I think he is an absolute monster off the edge, and definitely a very solid addition on this team. And then backing him up, I have Marquise Spencer, the 7th round pick this year. I do believe that, Spencer will, he's not I think he's the lowest graded rookie I have, but I do think he makes the team. Not a whole lot of competition there after Shelby, so I do have him making the team as the backup to Shelby Harris. Now, as the right outside linebacker, I do have Bradley Chubb because Bradley Chubb and Von Miller are both technically outside linebackers, but we use them as edge rushers more than linebackers. So yeah, I do have Bradley Chubb coming off of the right side. On ESPN they have him ranked as the weak side backer, the will backer, but I think he plays on the right side, because I think Vaughn coming off the left side, he's not going up against that blind side tackle, the left tackle, who's normally the better tackle. I like him coming off of the left side, so I like him coming off the left side, so he faces the right tackle. So that's why I have Bradley Chubb as the right outside linebacker. And then backing him up, I have a 7th-round pick, Derek Tuska. Second to last pick in 2020, out of North Dakota State. He bounced around a lot. We drafted him, then we put him on the practice squad, then we brought him up, then he was on the practice squad again. So, a lot of movement for Derek Tuska, but I do think he is the backup to Bradley Chubb this year. And I think he can learn a lot from Bradley Chubb, Von Miller, and even Malik Reed. I think this will be a crucial development year for Derek Tuska if he is to stick around long-term on this team. Next to left outside linebacker, it's Von Miller. I'm excited to have him back finally after it's been a while since I've seen him play. Obviously it was back in 2020 before the pandemic, and Vaughn is ready to prove that he still got it in the tank, and he's still one of the best edge rushers in the league. And then backing him up, I have Malik Reed. He's been solid for us for a while now. I'm still upset that we had to get rid of Shaq Barrett. Obviously we see what he's doing in Tampa Bay. It sucks that we had to lose him, but he's doing his thing. So I respect it. But Malik Reed is still solid. I love Malik Reed on this team. I think he's an absolute stud, and especially on that when Von Miller and Bradley Chubb need to come out and take a break, he's a good sub. I have full confidence in him that he'll get to rush the passer. The only problem is that we lost Jeremiah Tauchu in the offseason, so that's why Derek Tuska comes in, and I'm hoping that he can be very productive as well. Next, the left inside linebacker, we have got Alexander Johnson. Alexander Johnson is a really, really, really good inside linebacker. He is slept on and one of the most underrated players in the league, and one of the more underrated players on this defense. The only problem with him is that he's a bit old. He's 27, 28 right now. So will he be here long term? It's tough to say. I'd like him to be here long term, but because of his age and he's getting up there towards 30, it's tough for me to say yes. But while he's here, I think he's solid. He's great at rushing the passer and coverage, and he'll be able to develop these two young linebackers that we got waiting. And backing him up, I have Justin Strnad, the 5th-round pick out of Wake Forest a year ago in 2020. And I just have him mentoring Strnad. And as the right inside linebacker, we got Josie Jewell. I love Josie Jewell. Very physical linebacker. Loves to go up and hit. We saw what he did against Derrick Henry in week 1 last year. I think Josie Jewell is an absolute beast. And I'd love to have him stick around long term. Will he re-sign this upcoming year? Maybe. I believe he was drafted 2018, I believe. So this is his contract season. So will he re-sign with us? Maybe not. But even if he doesn't, I have faith because we got Baron Browning waiting and learning in the wings behind Josie Jewell. And even if he does not re-sign and he needs to step up, I have confidence in Baron Browning. He was in this draft class, you can go check the video, I think he was my 8th or 9th rated linebacker in this class, and he went a lot later than I thought he was. So this is tremendous value, and I have confidence that he, under Vic Fangio, will be able to learn the linebacker position. And he's behind Josie Jewell, who is more the linebacker that he should be learning behind because he's more of a pass rusher. So maybe he should learn behind Alexander Johnson to learn to cover, but I think Vic Fangio will take care of that stuff. So I think he's in the perfect situation, learning behind Alexander Johnson and Josie Jewell. Browning and Strnad will definitely be learning, and I have full confidence for whenever they eventually take over and insert into the starting lineup. Now at the most stacked position on the team is a cornerback. So cornerback 1, I do have Kyle Fuller, obviously coming over from the Bears on the 1-year deal. He's a very, very solid corner. He is absolutely a beast, and definitely is. He has my confidence for whatever number 1 receiver he has to take on. Week 1, we're playing the Giants, right? So he'll probably be up against Kenny Golladay there. So I have confidence that he'll be able to shut down Kenny Golladay, especially going up against him in the NFC North. Obviously, he was on the Bears. Golladay was on the Lions. So Kenny Galladay's got my full support. And at cornerback 2, many of you may be shocked, but I have Pat Surtain. I think he is going to be an absolute beast. I think he's the next Jalen Ramsey in the NFL. I think very, very highly of Surtain. And from what I'm hearing, he does not look like a rookie at minicamp, or looked like a rookie at minicamp since it's over. I think that he will be phenomenal, and I think he's going to be starting week 1. I think that Fangio and Ed Donatello are going to have full confidence in him to be the number 2 corner, learning behind Fuller, and then eventually Fuller probably, maybe he resigns, maybe he doesn't, but even if he doesn't, he's able to come over and take over as the number 1 cornerback for this team. And then as the slot corner, don't think this should be any surprise. Bryce Callahan, absolutely the best slot corner in the league, hands down, no doubt about it. And I think one of the most underrated players in the league. He's just so good, and I have full confidence in him in the slot. He's able to cover the slot receivers. He's got my full confidence in being the slot corner. Then at cornerback 4, I got Ronald Darby. By no means is this a terrible CB4, but just with this depth, he's the 4th corner because I don't want him playing in the slot when we got Bryce Callahan. I can't really put him over Kyle Fuller. And then Pat Surtain is an absolute beast, and I don't see him over Surtain. So, I think Darby's going to be great. This first year of his 3-year deal might be a little bit wasted. And then if Fuller or Callahan don't resign, then he'll obviously be bumped up to CB2 or 3. But, yeah, I mean, it's a good problem to have too many corners. Then at cornerback 5, I got Michael Ojemudia. I liked Michael Ojemudia. He struggled a little bit, but he was also very solid. So, after a decent rookie season, there was a lot to build on and a lot of hope for Ojemudia, especially with this talented group of corners that we got here. I think that this is one of the most impressive quarterback groups in the league. And then backing up Callahan in the slot is Kerry Vincent Jr. He just got the speed. He was a former track star. He's got the speed to be the next cornerback, slot cornerback ready and learning behind one of the best in Bryce Callahan. So there is one corner that was left off the list that I do think will make the team, and that is Isang Bassi. I do think he's going to be CB7 if we carry 7 corners. But I just think this corner group is so stacked that it's hard. Obviously, Fuller is going to be CB1, and then I'm confident Bryce Callahan is going to be the slot corner. So it's between Darby and Surtain on who is going to be the number 2 cornerback. Could it be Darby week 1 with his experience, or will it be Surtain? Personally, I'm hoping for Surtain. I want to see him on the field right away, but we'll have to see what the coaching staff decides with him. Alrighty, and now on to strong safety. We have got Kareem Jackson. He is back, K-Jax, and I'm excited. This is definitely probably his last year in Denver, unfortunately, but I'm happy to have him back in an enforcer safety role. He's great in the coverage. He'll go up. He's not afraid to hit. Kareem Jackson is just an absolute beast on the football field, and I would not be shocked, if he has an amazing season. But I do think this is probably his last year in Denver because of the 2 young stud safeties that we have grooming from this year's draft. One of them being Jamar Johnson out of Indiana. I think that with the two safeties and even with Trey Marshall there, I think Kareem Jackson's time in Denver will be done after this season, and it's nothing to do with talent-wise. I just think it's because of his age that this might be his last season. But by no means do I want Kareem Jackson to leave. I love Kareem Jackson. I think he's one of my favorite players on the team right now. He's just, oh my gosh, he's a character and he's great on the football field. So Kareem Jackson will be missed, but for now he's our starting strong safety. And then at free safety, you know who it is. Justin Simmons, the best safety in the league. And if you disagree with me, obviously that's your opinion and that's on you, but just look at his stats and you'll see why he is the best. Minka's close, sure, but and so is Jesse Bates, but to me, Justin Simmons is the best corner in the league. You can call me biased, but I don't think I am. I think he's the best safety in the league. So, yeah. And then, of course, under him developing, we got Caden Stearns. The reason why I have Caden Stearns under Simmons and not Jamar Johnson is I do think Stearns is more that free safety role, but also he does need a little bit more development. So that's why I have him sitting behind safeties, where as Jamar Johnson I think is good, maybe sit 1 year and then he's ready to start because, Kareem Jackson is leaving, so he'll be able to be propelled up into that starting safety role sooner because I think he's closer to being ready to start more than Caden Stearns. I think Caden Stearns is more, we need to develop him for a couple seasons. But yeah, that is my starting defense predictions with obviously the backups to each position. Now, obviously, like I said in my offensive video, there's going to be more players on this team, obviously, to fill special teams roles, punter, kicker, long snapper. There are going to be some guys who are going to be on the practice squad. So by no means is this going to be the full 53 roster in these two videos. Just keep that in mind. But this is just the starters and then a backup for each of them. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in a new video sometime soon. Peace out.